Support for this podcast comes from the St. Alphonsus Neuroscience Institute, offering technology to provide treatment for neurological, neurosurgical, and neurointerventional conditions. This includes a dedicated neurotrauma ICU for critical care of the brain or spine and a 24/7 stroke team. More at stalphonsus.org.
Since Boise State Public Radio was founded, students have been an integral part of day-to-day operations.
Hi, this is Josue Perez, and I'm an intern in the programming department. I'm a political science and biology major here at Boise State University, and Boise State Public Radio has given me so many opportunities outside of just productions. I really enjoy being on the backside of how many Idahoans get their global information.
Learn more and support at boisestatepublicradio.org.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's Daily News. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. Well, the backlash continues after a man testified before a legislative committee this week dressed in brownface. We've got that story, plus debate on how the Boise Library should grow. It is Wednesday, the 25th of February. Here we go with today's stories. Parents and caretakers of vulnerable adults could be given more ways to avoid criminal charges if they are accused of medical neglect. That under a new bill introduced yesterday. And James Dawson has details.
The bill from Republican Representative Lucas Kaler would only require parents and caretakers to seek medical attention for life-threatening illnesses. They also could not be held at fault if they seek, quote, alternative medical treatment from someone other than a licensed healthcare provider. Here's Kaler.
The purpose of this bill, once again, is to address the issues and occurrences of the removal of children from their parents based upon false reporting of medical neglect.
The committee narrowly rejected a similar version last week that would have let parents sue someone for filing false claims of medical neglect. Republican Representative Dory Healy says she's opposed to the bill, but voted to introduce it for further conversation.
I have significant concerns regarding the unintended consequences that I have shared with you. I feel like child protection should still be the utmost concern for all of this.
The House Health and Welfare Committee could hold a public hearing on the measure later this week. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
People are still reeling over what happened at the Capitol this week when some lawmakers on the House Business Committee let a man dressed up in brownface testify at the legislature. Julie Lucatow reports.
During public comments for a bill mandating employers verify the immigration status of their employees, far-right agitator David Pettinger approached the podium wearing brownface makeup, sunglasses, and a wig. In a fake Spanish accent, he pretended not to speak English.
El jefe, amigos, mi interpreter is presente.
Representative Steve Birch interrupted, leading to a break in the committee hearing.
This is not performance theater here. If we can please have straight testimony. Otherwise, I don't think this is appropriate form of testimony for this committee here.
After a short, unrecorded break, Pettinger was allowed to continue his testimony, this time without the accent, but still in full brownface. A few minutes later, Idaho Democratic Queer Caucus Chair Nixon Matthews testified against the bill and condemned Pettinger's actions.
What happened today is unacceptable. That man should have been removed from this room. There are
Mr. Matthews, that's
watching
enough.
This.
That was Committee Vice Chair Josh Wheeler interrupting Matthews. On Tuesday, the ACLU of Idaho, Planned Parenthood, and the Idaho Queer Caucus described Pettinger's behavior as a, quote, obscene mockery of Latinos in Idaho and called for the committee members to be held accountable for allowing his racist display. Julie Duguetta, Boise State Public Radio News.
And we should note that the Vice Chair, Josh Wheeler, did not respond to request for comment by the time we put the story together. At Boise City Hall on Tuesday, a rare meeting of the Boise City Council and the Board of Trustees from the Boise Public Library System. It's a fact that the Boise Library System is popular. Some have said too popular, given how many people access its collection and services, that as the city's population has grown to 250,000. And at yesterday's meeting, there was a fair amount of talk about proximity, how far away people could or should live from a library branch. But then there was an increasing amount of conversation about a more immediate need for staff or more square footage at existing locations. Here's Library Director Jessica Dorr.
We've got to think about how are we creatively serving more people. Adding hours is an easy way to do that as we're trying to look for ways to build a larger library for people to go to.
But Council Member Lucy Willits pushed back. She reminded the Library Board and Council that tens of thousands of people in West Boise have been asking for a branch for years.
And I appreciate that others have library access, but you've got an entire community that has asked for something. So to change the algorithm now to square footage is not consistent with what the city has done before. But if we have an entire section of the city that is asking for something and the numbers back it up, I think it would be a disservice to them to ignore them.
So the Library Board and Council will meet again in April. They will presumably come up with some firm numbers because come June, it will be time to talk budgets and possible capital expenditures. The celebration of the Chinese New Year continues in Boise.
This Chinese New Year is Year of the Horse.
This is Michael Compton, mechanical engineering student at Boise State and member of the Boise State Chinese Club. And the club's #1 event in the year is coming up tomorrow night.
We got some Chinese choirs, several acts from traditional Chinese dance schools, from a lot of local traditional Chinese dance academies, and members of the diaspora and their descendants. We have both the Chinese 102 and 202 class will be doing short traditional songs as well.
It will be China Night, and the event is free tomorrow night.
Just appreciation for Chinese culture and keeping it alive in America. Just people who have come here still practicing their Chinese New Year and stuff from Taiwan and mainland China, and just kind of a cultural appreciation.
China Night on the campus of Boise State at the Student Union Building, and it is free tomorrow night. And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. Say, I have an interview with an Idaho Paralympian. In fact, she was a 7-time Paralympic medalist. She's a legend. And we preview the upcoming Paralympics. I hope you access that on our website. In the meantime, we'll be back here tomorrow with The Connector. Thanks for listening.
Hi, it's Terry Gross, host of Fresh Air. Hey, take a break from the 24-hour news cycle with us and listen to long-form interviews with your favorite authors, actors, filmmakers, comedians, and musicians, the people making the art that nourishes us and speaks to our times. So listen to the Fresh Air podcast from NPR and WHYY.